Are you planning to apply for an employment visa in Germany? And are you asking yourself what the requirements for such an employment visa are? My name is Mirko. I'm a German attorney at law. I'm specialized in visa and immigration law. I'm part of VisaGuard, and in this video series, I'm going to explain all of the requirements for work visas. To apply for an employment visa for Germany or in Germany, you need to fulfill basically three important requirements. The first one is your degree and the recognition of your degree or your qualification. The second one is the right salary for your position, and the third requirements or the third category of requirements are employment related and employer related. In this video, I'm going to explain what the employer related requirements are and what kind of employment contract you need to apply for an employment visa in Germany. The first requirement for any employment visa in Germany is that you actually have a real employment contract. In many countries like Poland or the USA, it is quite common that you have a freelancer contract, which is actually an employment contract with some modifications. So, if you want to apply for an employment visa in Germany, you need to have an employment contract which obligates your employer to pay your social security contributions and your taxes. So, first requirement, no fake employment, real employment contract. The second category of employment-related requirements for work visa in Germany is regarding your employer. You need to have a German employer. It is called inländisches Beschäftigungsverhältnis. You can only work for a German employer under a German contract for a German employment visa. That means your employer has to pay social security contributions in Germany, has to pay taxes in Germany, and needs to be registered in Germany. There are some exceptions from this requirement. So, for example, best friend nationalities like UK or US citizen are permitted to work for foreign companies too. Or if you are under a family reunion visa or if you have a settlement permit, that is also allowed. But if you apply for an employment visa as a non-UK, US, Australia, Canada citizen, then you need to have a German registered employer. Another very important requirement regarding your employer is that your employer is actually credible and serious. So your registered employer cannot be blacklisted in Gewerbezentralregister for violations of Social Security law or employment law in the past, and he cannot be listed as insolvency case in Gewerbezentralregister. The authorities check those requirements in the public registers, and if your employer is blacklisted or somehow shady, you will get a refusal of your work visa application as well. The third employment-related requirement for work visa applications in Germany is that you're not permitted to work under a lease of employment contract. So a lot of foreigners try to work under Arbeitnehmerüberlassungsgesetz, where your actual employer rents you out to another employer. A very good example for this is, for example, Zeitarbeitsfirmen or employer of records. There's only one case where you are allowed to work under a lease of employee contract or employer of record contract, and that is if you apply for a blue card. Blue card holders are allowed to work under Arbeitnehmerüberlassungsgesetz, other employment visa do not permit this. The last employment-related requirement for any work visa application in Germany is that your employment contract cannot harm German employment law. So if any clause in the employment contract is unlawful, then you cannot apply for a work visa with that contract. There are basically only two major warning signs to watch out for. The first one is if your employment contract says you need to work for more than 48 hours per week, that is not allowed. And if your employment contract says that you have less than 20 or 24, depending on your weekly working hours, vacation days per year, that is also not allowed. In this video, we have learned that there are basically four major employment-related requirements for any work visa application in Germany. The first one is it needs to be a real employment contract. Your employer needs to pay your social security contribution and your employer needs to pay your taxes. The second one is it needs to be a German registered employer. German physical address if you are not a privileged citizen like US or UK. The third one is no lease of employee, no employer of record, no Zeitarbeit. And the fourth one is that your employment contract cannot harm very strict German labor laws in regard to working hours or vacation days per year. That's it. There are more requirements, especially in regard to the salary, but about this topic I'm going to talk in the next video. Did you like this video? Was this video helpful for you? Then make sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, visit our website, and stay tuned for more immigration law content.